Good afternoon, Mr. Conlan. How are you?
All good, Gareth. How are you, mate?
You've got the very professional microphone set up there. I see. You must be doing
It's
this on a regular basis.
my gaming setup. My gaming setup. I'm on Twitch and stuff, so this is where I come and I play my game and just talk shit to people and stuff. So it's good.
Can you explain to someone like me who's ignorant about this what you do on there then?
So I play Call of Duty, which is like a war game.
I know that. I know Call of Duty.
I sit and kill people every day, and then I just talk shit to them as well. But I'm streaming it live on Twitch, so people can like subscribe to me and watch me and like talk to me and stuff while I'm playing. So it's good. It's fun. Making money from doing it. So
That's
why not?
amazing.
You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Tell me, in that sense, that you're playing gaming at the moment. I've got to ask you, because you're a warrior, you're a fighter, the extraordinary events that are going on, it just kind of segues into this. I feel like I've got to ask
Yeah.
you, these extraordinary events going on with the invasion of Ukraine by Russia at the moment. When you see fellow fighters, not least Vasyl Lomachenko's in the same weight division, and Alexander Usyk and the Klitschko brothers.
Yeah.
When you see what they're prepared to do at the moment to put their boxing to one side and defend their country, what's your feeling about it? Do you have admiration for them?
To be honest, Gareth, I haven't seen it because I'm off social media. I'm off everything. The only thing I do is actually play Call of Duty. I'm away from my family. I've been away from my family now for 8 weeks straight. I haven't been on any of my socials. I have someone running that stuff for me. So I've kind of been in the dark. I only found out the other day that there was a war going on between Russia and Ukraine, and Russia had invaded Ukraine. So I heard in the gym now the boys talking about the Klitschko's and Usyk and stuff, saying the boxing doesn't matter. They got to defend their country, and I have the utmost admiration for that because countries are being oppressed and trying other countries trying to take a part of it. I think Ireland knows an awful lot about that,
Exactly.
and can stand in solidarity with those people because I would do the exact same.
Thank you very much. Very wise words. Let me take you to events the week coming up. Huge fight for you. WBA regular title challenge against Leigh Wood in Nottingham.
Yep.
Now, we've had controversy recently about home fighters. And I got to ask, may well go the 12 rounds. You're both world level fighters. After what you saw last weekend with Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall, does the idea of a very close fight and you fighting in someone else's hometown have any concerns for you?
No, simply because last week happened. And that's a selfish thing, but for me, not selfish. Well, for me, selfish, but I actually don't really care because I feel bad saying it because I felt so bad for Jack, but I'm glad it happened last week. Now the eyes of the world are on it. Makes it almost impossible for it to happen again. Now, that's not saying it can't happen again. It's almost impossible. Does it bother me? No. Will I beat Leigh Wood? Yes. Will it be so clean that it'll be impossible to score against me? Yes. So am I worried? No, not at all.
Did you watch last week's fight?
Yeah, I did.
And how did you see it?
I had Ketchel winning by 4, maybe 5 rounds. After 6 rounds, I actually had him 5 up, 1 even. So, like, I thought he was clear. I thought he was real clear. And it was just unfortunate, these things seem to be happening more and more on the kind of UK shores than ever before. More so than Germany and stuff has happened. It used to be Germany and stuff, but now it seems to be kind of fighters coming to the UK and even fighters in the UK fighting someone else's back garden seem to be getting, dubbed. So it's not nice to see. Everybody knows my thoughts on corrupt judging and how I can speak. We've seen the interview so many times and I've spoken about it so many times. So hopefully I don't have to point the fingers and have a rant on Saturday week.
Do you compare what happened last Saturday between Taylor and Catterall different to your fight against
No,
Vladimir?
I have it very similar, simply because I was never able to realize my dream then after that. And if Josh Taylor does not rematch him and moves up the division, Jack Ketchell will never have the opportunity to become undisputed world champion because then belts go everywhere. They don't go to one person, they go everywhere then for the guys who are mandatory and all that. So he will not get the opportunity to fight for an undisputed world championship again, and he should be undisputed world champion right now. So I felt very similar to him in that sense, and that's why I says I feel bad when I say I'm glad it happened last weekend, but I am glad because at the same time I'm selfish, and but you have to
It's
be selfish in
highlighted
this
it,
game.
hasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's
It's
really
just
highlighted it. Yeah.
it's highlighted the whole thing, and yeah, I felt Jack was in a very similar position to me. He done the right thing by shooting off, although if it was me, I would have stayed and said how I felt.
Because you presumably, you were, if I remember rightly, you were a world champion in the amateurs. You were a European gold
Champion.
medalist in the Europeans.
Yeah,
So you had the pedigree to go and win an Olympic gold, which
yeah,
would have transformed your life anyway. Not that you haven't done brilliantly so
yeah.
far, 16 fights, 16 wins. But whenever you look back on that 6 years ago, do you feel like something was stolen from you? It will always be there as stolen from you.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Listen, I had almost completed, every gold medal you could win. I'd
The Grand Slam. The Grand Slam, yeah,
Commonwealth champion, European champion,
as
world
well.
champion.
Yeah.
All I needed to do was go and, in my opinion, pick up my fucking my Olympic gold medal. Um, because no one was beating me in that games, and obviously what happened. Um, and it was stolen. I knew I would never have the opportunity again because I was not waiting for another Olympic Games.
When you beat Vladimir Nikitin, I think it was at Madison Square Garden
Yeah,
Theatre, wasn't it? A
yeah.
couple of years ago
Oh,
now.
it was
2 years ago.
in the big room, on the Terence Crawford, Kavalauskas card, and where
That's right.
Teofimo Lopez won his first world title as well. So
Did it did it go some way 2 years ago into you being able to kind of at least mentally rectify something for yourself?
yeah, listen, I had made peace with it long before that, but the fight was made, and as I said before, like after the fight as well, before you kind of have to play a part, but I never had any ill feeling towards Vladimir Nikitin, simply because it wasn't his fault. He didn't make the decision, and he actually is a real nice dude. And I felt bad how he was being portrayed because he actually was a good guy. But listen, you played a part. It's the pro game. It's about the storyline and all that stuff. So I played it and W beat him. It did help release, some feelings, but it was something that I already knew I had done, so it didn't do too much for me.
Is there anything at the moment, not to labour the point here, but there was no recourse in the Olympics to change it. There's no recourse, as you say, for Jack Catterall to get justice for the judging decision against Josh Taylor. You can try and take it to court, but it's just judges are just going to say that was just my subjective opinion on the
Yeah,
night. Just
you can't win. You can't win.
Is
You
it?
can't
Is
win.
it? What can we do? I've been in this a long time, seen it so many times. Is there anything we can do, or are we just in a sport where unless you get a knockout or a stoppage, you cannot predetermine how something is going to be, the outcome of something? Is it? Are
Yeah,
we just in that?
I think so, in a sense, because no matter what is said, people will just say boxing is subjective. Like you just said, boxing is subjective. And whether we believe it or not, they probably truly did believe no Josh Taylor won. Although the rest of the world didn't. From their eyes, maybe it did tell me one. So I don't know exactly what we can do, but I think there needs to be kind of more education on what people are scoring. I think there needs to be more accountability held for, if there's a camera put in the boxer's face immediately after a fight, possibly concussed, possibly damaged, and they can talk. Why can't there could be a camera put in front of, a referee or a judge to explain the decisions they have made and the choices they've made throughout that fight when they're, full minded. There's not any bit of damage on them as they kind of make any wrong decisions in terms of what they're going to say. They're not intoxicated, anything like that. So I think that they need to be more accountable and there needs to be more kind of training on what they're scoring.
Time to bring you to your fight. Obviously, as you say, you've been locked away in camp.
Yeah.
Leigh Wood has come late in his career. You know, we know he's a strong puncher.
Yeah.
We've got fine victory over Canshu. Shu Can, as some people just call his name. I call him Canshu. How does this fight play out when the bell rings?
There's many ways it can play. You know, it can be an exciting fight. It can be a boring fight, and I think it's all down to me and the decisions I make on the night. How it plays out is my hand is raised at the end. I know that. I know that for certain. It's whether or what option I choose to do it, what way I choose to do it. I can beat him going forward. I can beat him going backwards. I can beat him as an orthodox. I can beat him as a southpaw. And 4 different fighters in there in front of him. Actually, you could say I'm 8 because it could be in every style, doing every style differently. You know what I mean? So, he'll have, you know, looked so much video of me and watched, they did a lot of the study and stuff, and I'll be a different person when I'm standing in front of them. So it's like, I'm unprepared. You can't prepare for me, so that's the thing. I'll go in there and I'll put on a dominant performance. It will look like it's easy, but it's going to be hard because I have to be mentally switched on for the full 12 rounds.
Does he rank as one of your toughest opponents when you've been preparing, or are they all equally tough at this level? I mean, how do you see it?
No, 100%. He'd be the best opponent I've faced, and that's why I'm so excited, and that's why I'm so confident, because I always say, as the better opponent they face, you'll see the better Michael Conlan, and that's all. I've always said that. Like, in the national championships, I would have been terrible, but when I went to the world stage, I was unbelievable. And that's the thing. When the level is lower, my level kind of drops a bit. When the level is higher, my level is even higher. So that's what I'm excited about. I'm looking forward to getting there and putting on a spectacular performance and winning so well, people will start going, "Wow, that's what I'm talking about." That's what we've been raving about for so long.
Is there a special switch in you that goes then? Yeah, I mean, you seem incredibly focused right now. Is there a switch that goes in you when you're in this kind of mode?
It's competition. It's competition. I love competition. I hate to lose, and that's one thing I really hate. I hate to lose, no matter what it is. Like, as I said, I was sitting on one of the interviews earlier on. Like, we're driving up. Matchroom was treated as fantastic, and we'll be driving up on Tuesday night in a van with FIFA in the van. And I was always bad at FIFA, but I know my brother's going to be in the van. He always used to beat me at FIFA, so I've actually downloaded FIFA here, PC, FIFA now, just to get better to beat him on Tuesday. So that's how competitive I've got here. Like, you know what I mean? It's everything. I hate to lose that much, and there's nothing I will do. I have a mindset, a bulletproof mindset, where there is no giving me. I will go right till the very end. I'll go through walls. I'll go through cars. I'll go through anything you want to put in front of me. I'll rip right through it till I get that goal.
Michael, it's brilliant to see you. I really appreciate your time. Cannot wait to see you next week.
Cheers, Gareth. See you next week.